So, Caitlin Clark, obviously, anyone with a working brain knows that Caitlin Clark has been, like, one of the best players in the WNBA for the last couple of years. And one of the main reasons why the WNBA is growing. And the NBA commissioner has effectively come out and said as much. And again, Adam Silver has no, like, there's no reason why, like, he would need to say this. I think he's just going out of his way and just saying it for the sake.
Adam Silver has sent shockwaves through the WNBA by publicly praising Caitlin Clark's immense global star power and influence on the game. His comments unequivocally acknowledge her impact, directly challenging critics and online trolls who have tried to downplay her significance. Silver's endorsement is a powerful validation of Clark's rising prominence, emphasizing that her popularity extends beyond the court and into the international spotlight. This move puts pressure on the WNBA and its harshest critics to confront the undeniable truth about her status as a transformative figure in women's basketball. When the NBA commissioner speaks so openly, it's impossible to ignore the message. Caitlin Clark's influence is real and growing. Her supporters have long argued her importance, and Silver's words now firmly confirm that her star power is undeniable. This development signals a new chapter in recognizing her as a true basketball icon.
Clark's trip to town. And Adam Silver is the commissioner of the NBA. I can't stand Adam Silver. I'm not going to lie to you. I think he's ruined the NBA. But on this Caitlin Clark thing, I will give him credit. He has awareness. He has awareness. He got awareness on politics in the NBA and abolished it. But you still let 2020, 2021, 2022 happen. So that's still not great. And the league and the ratings are...
The buzz around Caitlin Clark is electric, and Adam Silver's recent praise adds fuel to the fire. His remarks could be the wake-up call the WNBA needs to finally give her the proper marketing and recognition she deserves. Or, there's a chance they might continue to overlook their most transcendent star. Silver appeared on the FanDuel Sports Network in Indiana and highlighted Clark's enormous popularity, emphasizing that her impact goes far beyond Indiana. It's a global phenomenon. He called her influence remarkable, a word that underscores just how significant her rise is on the world stage. For over a year, this should have been obvious to the league, but it took an outside voice from the NBA commissioner to make it clear. Will this moment finally push the WNBA to fully embrace and promote Clark's star power? Only time will tell.
Let's get to this. This is comments that Adam Silver made last year when Caitlin Clark was left off the Olympic team. He said, he talked about them leaving her off, but he said, but I'd say from my standpoint, and I'm independent from USA Basketball and somebody whose job it is to oversee the NBA and ultimately WNBA, I keep telling you, Kathy Engelbert's not running this show. Quote, I wouldn't say I'm disappointed, but it would have been nice to see her on the floor. There's no question she's one of the most popular players, and at this point in the world, the ratings demonstrate that, the amount of interest we're seeing in her. But again, my mandate is different than USA Basketball's. But he just came out and told you. Caitlin Clark's the one that drives.
Let that truly sink in. The commissioner of the NBA, a man who has an unparalleled understanding of star power and global market dynamics, has explicitly acknowledged Caitlin Clark as a phenomenon that transcends the boundaries of women's basketball. Silver's recognition comes at a crucial moment, precisely when some vocal fans and media figures still attempt to downplay her widespread popularity, suggesting it's overhyped or that other players deserve equal attention. But Silver's words effectively silence that argument. When the head of the world's most successful basketball league publicly praises a player's global appeal and remarkable talent, it's impossible to dismiss. His endorsement isn't just casual. It's coming from someone whose entire career revolves around understanding what drives fan engagement and generates massive revenue. The significance of Silver's praise is heightened by the fact that he's under no obligation to make such statements. His words carry weight, confirming that Caitlin Clark's impact is real, undeniable, and far-reaching, a testament to her extraordinary influence on the sport and its fans worldwide.
Was effusive in his praise of Caitlin Clark. He said, to see the popularity of Caitlin Clark, to see the fever exploding in popularity, not just here in Indianapolis, but globally, it's remarkable. And the context of that, I would play it, but I don't know if, I get pinged for the playing the broadcast. He was actually talking about how the NBA was patient with the WNBA, and David Stern was patient with the WNBA, and they believed one day it would work. And so he was almost beaming with pride at the fact that the WNBA has become what it is.
He isn't the WNBA commissioner. He doesn't work for the Indiana Fever. And he's definitely not cashing checks from any of Caitlin Clark's sponsors like Nike or Gatorade. What he is doing is giving his raw, unfiltered take as someone who studies basketball at every level and understands exactly how the business of professional sports operates. So when he says Caitlin Clark's influence is global, he's not guessing, he's pointing directly to the hard evidence. Massive TV ratings, unprecedented merchandise spikes, viral social media traction, and every other metric that actually drives revenue. And the fact that Adam Silver even brought this up tells you something important. It shows he's likely just as exasperated as the fans watching the WNBA mismanage the biggest star they've ever had. The NBA has perfected the art of superstar marketing. They didn't become a global powerhouse by accident. They elevated Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, and others into worldwide icons because they understand one simple truth: your biggest stars are your business. So for someone as sharp as Silver, watching the WNBA fail to maximize a generational draw like Caitlin Clark must feel like watching a gold mine being buried instead of mined.
Of it. But let's take a listen to hear what he has said about Caitlin Clark growing the game and the Indiana Fever.
What we do to bring joy to people and give them moments is phenomenal. Now, I'm going to stop there because I don't mean to embarrass you. I just have watched this for many, many years, and I've seen the enthusiasm for this game that you, Herb, and the ownership have brought. And it's just one of those things you sit sometimes and say, wow.
Well, I'll just say lastly, and now with the WNBA going into its 30th season, we were all here at the early days watching that grow, and I remember sitting by David Stern's side the first decade when the questions were often, how long are you going to keep at this? This isn't working. And David Stern said, we're going to keep at it. We're just going to keep going because we know we have something here. And now to see the popularity of Caitlin, to see the Fever exploding in popularity, not just here in Indianapolis, Indiana, but globally. It's remarkable. And again, it's like I have two young daughters. I can't tell you how excited I am.
And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. And look, it's only the people that were involved in the WNBA prior to 2023 that will say it. That will come out there and will try argue against it. It's only the people that don't want to, not that they don't want to believe it, they just don't want to say it. There's not one person who actually believes that the growth that's happened in women's basketball is not due to Caitlin Clark. I think everybody knows and everybody believes.
His remarks about the Indiana Fever's global explosion in popularity are just as significant because they confirm something critics keep pretending isn't real. Caitlin Clark's impact is not limited to casual viewers or people who only recently discovered women's basketball. Her influence is lifting the entire franchise to heights it has never experienced before. The Fever's merchandise numbers are skyrocketing. Their TV broadcasts are breaking record after record. Attendance, both at home and in every arena they visit, is the highest it has ever been. International interest surrounding the team has surged to levels that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. None of this is hypothetical. It's reflected in every financial report and every performance metric the organization releases. Her detractors constantly try to shrink her success, insisting it's just a temporary American fad or leftover hype from college. But Adam Silver flat out stated her reach is global, and he's right. Even the Golf Channel aired her appearance at the Annika Pro-Am, exposing her to an entirely different sports audience who may have never tuned into basketball. That kind of cross-sport cultural pull is extremely rare and incredibly valuable. And the numbers back it up. Jessica's latest ranking of the world's highest-paid female athletes placed Caitlyn at number 6, bringing in a jaw-dropping $16 million. That's not buzz. That's economic impact.
He's saying it again. You know, one of the reasons he went to these networks and said, hey, you need to give us a lot of money for the WNBA, it's because he knows he's got a cash cow. He's got somebody at least for, 44 games a year, as long as she's healthy. He's going to get a million viewership rating on just about every game. And he's going to get ratings on the NBA TV he ain't never seen before. And it's going to be record rating after record rating. Adam Silver's message on Caitlin Clark's fever motion speaks volumes. He's coming out. He's talking about this again.
And here's the part people keep ignoring. Caitlyn isn't just on that global earnings list. She's the only athlete from a team sport to appear anywhere near the top. Those rankings are usually ruled by tennis and golf stars who have access to massive prize purses and elite sponsorship deals. Yet Caitlyn forced her way into the top tier while playing in a league where the salary cap practically handcuffs her on-court earnings. That's not coincidence. That's star power in its purest form. When you break down her income, it almost looks unreal. Her entire WNBA salary package? Around $19,000. Everything else, over $15 million, comes straight from endorsements. In other words, the companies that drive the global sports economy value her more than 100 times what the league itself pays her. And those companies aren't small players. Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, and a long list of powerhouse brands are pouring money into Caitlyn because she delivers every time. She boosts sales, draws massive visibility, and creates undeniable impact. Silver's praise highlights all of this, and at the same time exposes how hesitant the WNBA has been in truly marketing its most valuable superstar.
Caitlyn's coach, Stephanie White, also never hesitant to talk about her star power either and how she manages it. I think the full interview comes out today, but there was a clip shared from Sue Bird's show where Stephanie White was actually praising Caitlin Clark's work ethic on the court, but went back to her pet nickname for Caitlin that she uses all the time, which is Taylor Swift 2.0.
And with Caitlin, she's a hard worker because of what she's been able to accomplish. But until you see that there's no wasted movements, no wasted reps, no wasted anything, you just have such a level of respect for how she goes about her work every day. And understanding the spotlight that she's on, understanding the weight that she carries because of who she is. And she's literally like Taylor Swift 2.0. And that somehow she's able to compartmentalize and come to the gym, get everything that she has to get done. She's off doing everything all the time, but when she's there, she's working.
The league keeps trying to balance an impossible equation, promoting Caitlyn without upsetting anyone else. That cautious approach has created some truly strange moments where the most influential player in the entire WNBA isn't showcased nearly as much as she should be. While the league tiptoes around feelings, her corporate sponsors have no such hesitation. They put her front and center on massive billboards, national commercials, and global campaigns because they understand something simple. When you have a star, you lead with the star. Meanwhile, the trolls who spent all season insisting Caitlyn isn't that important just got hit with a reality check from the highest authority possible. Adam Silver didn't just compliment her, he validated her global impact. And unlike random critics online, Silver isn't guessing or projecting. He sees the full data, ratings, revenue, international trends, sponsorship numbers. When he says someone has global reach, it's because the numbers confirm it beyond doubt. What makes Silver's comments even more revealing is what he didn't say. If multiple players were driving this surge, he would have named them. If the league's growth were a collective effort, he would have emphasized that. Instead, he singled out Caitlyn and the fever's skyrocketing popularity, exposing just how insecure some of her detractors truly are.
It is something that we can look at, and see that it's good that the NBA itself, that the commissioner of the NBA is able to at least admit the obvious. The commissioner of WNBA won't. In fact, the commissioner of WNBA has come out and said that she should get credit for the growth of Caitlin Clark. Nothing to do with college. The only reason Caitlin Clark's making money is because of WNBA. Like, they're so backwards. Everything in this league is backwards. And at least you've got Adam Silver coming out and saying it.
That wasn't a coincidence. It was a strategic move to highlight who truly influences the sport and its growth. The way the NBA markets its stars contrasts sharply with the WNBA's approach, which often seems hesitant to fully capitalize on its biggest names. For example, when LeBron James was leading the Cavaliers, the NBA made him the focal point of its marketing efforts because he was the main attraction. Similarly, during Steph Curry's dominance with the Warriors, the league launched global campaigns centered around him. This demonstrates that the NBA recognizes the importance of riding its stars' coattails at their peak. Conversely, the WNBA appears reluctant to do the same with Caitlin. Even more impressive is her ability to maintain popularity despite missing 13 games last season due to injuries. Most athletes see their endorsements and visibility decline after such setbacks, but Caitlin's brand grew stronger. Her earnings increased from $11 million to $16 million despite limited court time, which is virtually unheard of in professional sports. This underscores that her value extends beyond just her on-court performance. It's rooted in her personality, authenticity, and powerful personal brand. Her story exemplifies how a star can transcend the game and become a cultural icon, proving her influence is both deep and enduring. The recent appearance of Caitlin Clark at a golf event, broadcasted by the Golf Channel, exemplifies the crossover appeal that is increasingly benefiting women's sports. This kind of mainstream exposure introduces athletes like Clark to audiences who might never have watched a WNBA game, elevating their profile beyond traditional basketball fans. Such recognition underscores the fact that while many WNBA players are highly skilled, they often lack the widespread visibility that stars like Clark now enjoy. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver's remarks highlight this shift, emphasizing Clark's growing global popularity and the opportunities it creates for the league. He pointed out that promoting her more aggressively would not harm the league, but could instead maximize her value and interest in women's basketball. This perspective urges the WNBA to embrace Clark's rising star, especially as her upcoming Nike signature shoe in 2026 is anticipated to be a game-changer. Historically, women's basketball shoes have struggled compared to their male counterparts, but Clark's enormous popularity is set to challenge that trend. Her name alone sells out products almost instantly, and her shoe launch will further prove her marketability. Silver's comments acknowledge that Clark is a once-in-a-generation superstar, and her influence is reshaping perceptions of women's sports. Moreover, Clark's earnings place her among the top 15 highest-paid female athletes globally, an extraordinary achievement for a woman in team sports. While other women's sports like soccer, hockey, and volleyball have stars, none match Clark's earning power. This isn't media bias. It's a testament to her unparalleled appeal and the potential for women's sports to reach new heights when given the right spotlight. The free market's response clearly shows Caitlin's extraordinary appeal, with investors recognizing her as a transcendent star. Silver's praise highlights what passionate WNBA fans have long argued: the league's marketing efforts do not adequately promote Caitlin's star power. Despite her global fame, she remains underrepresented in league promotions, frustrating fans who see her potential to elevate the sport's profile. Silver's comments seem intentional, emphasizing Caitlin's importance in the league's growth. His focus on her in the FE underscores that while many players contribute, Caitlin is a primary driver of the WNBA's rising visibility. This recognition sends a powerful message about her unique role in expanding women's basketball internationally. Silver's timing for speaking out is noteworthy. Though the league isn't directly under his jurisdiction, his public praise of Caitlin suggests he genuinely understands her significance. He sees her as a long-term asset, with her influence expanding into new markets and demographics. At only 22, she has at least a decade of high-level play ahead, and each year her profile will grow. Silver's acknowledgement of her growth trajectory signals that he sees her as the face of women's basketball globally for the foreseeable future. For the league, positioning Caitlin as its undisputed star is a strategic move that could significantly boost its international presence. A clear contrast exists between how Caitlin is marketed by major corporations and how the league promotes her. Brands like State Farm, Gatorade, Nike, and Wilson actively feature her in their campaigns, signing her for endorsements and releasing special merchandise that sells out instantly. These companies recognize her marketability and are building their strategies around her. The WNBA could definitely learn from the NBA's approach to marketing its stars. Silver's comments serve as a powerful reminder that Caitlin's influence goes far beyond the league itself. When the NBA commissioner publicly praises a WNBA player, it signifies respect across leagues and recognizes that Caitlin's success benefits basketball as a whole. Her growing popularity helps inspire youth programs and elevate the sport globally, which Silver clearly understands. Silver's words effectively shut down the skeptics who have tried to diminish her impact for months. When the head of the NBA confirms Caitlin's global star power and her role in driving the Fever's international rise, the debate is over. The WNBA must take note and start marketing her the way she truly deserves. Her star power is undeniable, and now, thanks to Silver's endorsement, her status is cemented as a global icon.